What's going on, everyone? So today I'm going to work on changing out this air filter and mount here. It's got the cool 114, but I acquired a limited edition Vance Hines Patriotic Edition. So you can see it's got the nice subdued flag on there, and I think that'll look really good going with the scheme that I got. When you look in the packaging that comes in, it's boxed up really well. As you can see, that thing was wrapped up real nice, and all your additional hardware that's included is all bubble wrapped in, or wrapped in here real sealed real tight. Be sure when you open it that you don't cut it all up, because it's kind of a pain. Peel this piece off, that one you can cut around there and stuff like that, but it's okay. But so what we're gonna do is, of course, follow the instructions that we have included and take this one off, put this one on so it fits more subdued with the bike and the way it looks. So let me move the camera around, show you the parts, and we'll get started. See you in a minute. Got everything unpackaged, you got your instructions, you got your front cover all nicely decorated there, the subdued flag, and of course facing in the right direction. You got your new filter, you've got your risers, new tubes, 7/16 wrench to help with the bolts here that go on for the back, a 5/16 12-point wrench for these units, 7/16 also for that. I have a T27, and then on this side for the hardware taking off, 1/4-inch driver with an extension to keep me away from the bike, knife for opening everything up. My torque wrench set to 55 inch-pounds per the requirements. Loctite, of course, and then 7/16 deep socket to get the vent ports out of the head when it comes out. So pretty much that's what it calls for. They give you a nice breakdown of how it explodes out. They tell you the tools that you need, and then removal, installation, and that's about it. Should be pretty simple. We'll see how it goes, and I'll get this all moved up and realigned back up here for a better view on that, and then we'll get started, take the original one off and start doing the other one. Be back in a sec. All right, got the camera repositioned. Just for my own safety, I put a towel down here just because sometimes I tend to drop things and I don't want to ding anything up. So we'll get started by taking off the stock air cleaner and cover. This one starts out with a 1/8 hex bit. So we'll pull these out. And the instructions call for everything, all fasteners, to have Loctite on it. So we want to be sure that we put all that in. I'm going to set all this stuff over here to the side out of the way. This pulls off the cover of the cool little 114 cubic inch. Take that off, put it over there to the side. That exposes now these other two bolts that hold this cover and plate on there. That one is a 5/32 for the Heritage. So we'll pull this out. You can see the Loctite that they had on there from the factory. Loosen these up so I can get them out with my fingers. See? Slippery bolts. Okay, pull those out over there. Pulls off the cover, which also releases your filter. Set those over here off to the side. Now you've got your little tubes that go in here. In the kit, they give you new tubes that match up to the new one. But these just basically pull off and plug into the vent ports that go on there. So we'll take those out. And then you've got these 3 bolts and these 2 that hold this plate on. So we'll get those guys out. And those are a T27, is it? No, not T27. Probably, yep, same one as the others. So that's the 5/32. So I'm gonna take these out first. These are long ones. They have like an interesting thread pattern that goes into them. Threads into this and then threads into the input for the jet or the port there. So we'll pull these out. Probably gonna have to use the extension. Pretty long. Not yay long. Set those off to the side. Haven't put one of these on, so it should be interesting. I think it's going to look good though. Don't have to worry about doing anything different to my bike because I already have a high performance air cleaner on it, and this is just another version of it, so I don't think that's going to be any difference that's going to change anything, just more aesthetic and more patriotic. Alright, so those are loose, but you can see it's still connected pretty good. So now what we have to get is the 7/16 deep socket I use. And go in here and back out these ports. Be careful playing with these. This is going into your head. Could cause lots of problems. Should you cross thread putting them back in or banging around coming out or something like that. So I don't think you want to do head work. Notice Loctite from the factory on that as well. So we will follow suit. Hang on to this one as you start loosening it so it doesn't drop and bang on anything. Even though I'm taking this off, chances are I'll keep it. So I want to make sure it stays in good condition. Alright. This one, same thing, and that pulls this off. Now you got exposed to all that. So this one has the gasket on the back of it here. The kit comes with a new gasket. This looks like they put some sort of sealant on there. Doesn't call for any sealant for the new gasket, so I don't think we're going to worry about it. Just talks about sandwiching it all in there. So if we go back to our instructions, it says for a clear understanding of the installation, make sure you look at the blowout version here. Kind of helps you go through to see how it all goes. And it does say, when installing and servicing the air cleaner, apply Loctite blue to threads and of all fasteners. All right, so this says install the 2-cylinder head breather bolts and tighten them to 120 to 144 inch-pounds. So they came with new ones. Got them right here with the Loctite on. I guess we're going to stick those in here first right now. That started finger tight. I'm going to follow these just like it says to see what it does and what I have to do to adjust if anything's a little different. So there may be some rewinding or backing up or something like that depending on what we see. That one threaded in nice. This one just needs a little help. Just gonna snug that. Now I'm gonna grab my torque wrench. You can probably guess, but I want to play with the head. So Got this one set to right around 135, kind of in the middle. And we're gonna go in here and torque this down. And there, like that. All right, torqued, good to go. All right, so the breather ports are in and torqued. Install the rear and front breather hoses, 8 and 9, through the top holes in the Venturi backplate, and the line is shown. So go in here and take a look. You got 2 new breather port hoses. They are different. So looking at the drawing to see which one is which. All right, number 8 shows on this side. It looks to be right there. And this one goes to this side. I'm gonna guess there's some sort of spacer in there when you put that bad boy in. Yes, there is. All right. So this is the backing plate. I'm kind of going ahead, but you can see there's 2 holes right there. And I'm gonna guess that's where those 2 go in, which is gonna tell me this is gonna mount like so. And so that'll push this out forward a little bit and allow that room, and then the bolts will go here to hold it in because those will be in front of it. So let's see what it says for the instructions. Okay. Install the rear and front breather hoses through the top 2 holes in the Venturi backing plate and the line as shown. Using the 3 1/4 by 1/2 hex screws, install the gasket onto the throttle body. Only thread the hex head screws halfway. All right, so this is going to get tricky. So we have the gasket here and our 3 bolts. So here's a new gasket that came in with the kit, and we're going to take a look here and see if there's any. There it is, that notch. So because this is going to require a few hands, we're going to try to get tricky with it. Put these in to get them started. About halfway, like it says. That'll hold those. And then we'll slide the cover over it and then put the breather tubes through the holes in the top. Pretty much holds it in place for the gasket. So these are on the top right here. I've already got the hoses kind of set, ready to go. You can see I can adjust them a little bit when we get it ready to come in, but these will fit right there like that. So I'm going to move these up over here out of the way, and then on the back of this, it's got these little slide holes here, here, and here, and those are going to go over those bolt heads and turn, and I guess we'll tighten them up with the 7/16 wrench that they talk about. So let's get these lined up like that. Okay, so that seems to be good. And that's going to be a tight little tighten, so I'm going to look at the distance and screw these in a little bit more, just because it's a tight fit. to get back there with a wrench. I want to minimize that because you can't use a socket, so there we go. All right, so that looks good, snug. Let me get my smaller, shorter 7/16 wrench. This longer one that I had. And then we'll start tightening these guys down. Just locked in place. Just gonna snug that one for a minute. Do have Loctite on it, so it'll help with the vibration. Kind of doing this by feel. Not a lot of room to work in it, but enough. Okay, so I got them kind of snugged. Now what I'm going to do is finish snugging them down. Just go around in a circle. I'm not blocking it. Okay. Alright, so there's that one. Good snug. This one is up here. I'll go here with it. Good snug. And snug. Okay. So now those are on there. Now we'll go in here and put these tubes in these holes. One there, one there. Put this one in. That will direct the spittle, as we call it, to come in. You'll see them come down inside the tube here once I get it lined up right. Alright, I'm going to do it this way. Pull it off. There we go. See it pop out right there. And once I got it in, go back and reconnect it just to make it easier. Same thing for this side. I'm going to pull that out. Feel for the hole. It's tight quarters. Alright, finally. Sorry about that, but lesson learned. Next time, put it in this first when you got it out and easy to grab it, and then you can get it set to go. Alright, so that one and that one. This one has kind of a lot of travel. I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Okay, no kinks. That looks good, that looks good. Longer one for the longer reach. Plugged in, okay. Now that we got that on. All right, sandwich air filter cover, air filter, Venturi backing plate. Sandwich the air filter cover, the air filter, and the Venturi backing plate using the 12-point head cap screws, standoffs, and serrated nuts. Also make sure to orient the air filter so that the metal fin is hidden behind the Vance Hines logo on the cover. All right. So here's our filter. This is the metal fin that it's talking about. This is our cover here, Vance Hines logo. I'm guessing what they mean here is to turn that, see how that shows? I want you to turn it so it hides it like that, right? And so that's the way it's going to sit. And then you got these little standing extenders. They're going to go out here. And then of course, the long 12-point bolts that they're talking about, which are 5/16. So 12-point there. And then you got the nuts that go with it. So there's 4 serrated nuts on the back, which I figure they put a lock washer, but I guess if we have the Loctite, we should be good to go. So now comes the fun of getting the bolt in. So we'll put bolt in, slide on one of these guys, like so. Stick this guy up here. I'm gonna hold it with my finger and start the nut on the back. Okay. Check my alignment of the filter. Just let that sit for a second. Grab another bolt. Another shim. Stick that in there. And just work my way around with each one. It's not a lot of bite on the back of the nut, but once we start tightening it down, I'm sure it will be. So I get it finger tight to hold it. Make sure that my filter is aligned like I want it, and that it's seated. Okay. So I'm gonna take this one next. Odd positioned. Wish these were black bolts, but there are chrome bolts on the motor, so I get it. Would rather have black bolts. Guess I could have put them backwards, but then I would have a black nut with the chrome bolt in the center of it and probably just look stupid. All right. This guy on there. All right, so I got them all started. Take the assembly and slide the backing plate over the 3 hex screws. Okay, so we got those started there. And again, we already know that that is the 12-point. And I'm gonna guess these are gonna be 7/16 on the back. They are. So I'm just going to run these down a little bit just to get them snugged up. And then we'll do our torque settings on it. Okay. Now they're screwing a lot more now because it's compressing everything. The gasket's rubber by design, so it will compress and should. So now we see it's on there good, looking pretty schmexy. Vance Hines upright, flags going the right direction. Now we are going to grab our torque wrench, and it says we set this torque to 55 to 60 inch-pounds. So I'll make sure I turn this down because I had it higher last time for the other bolts. 55 to 60. So I'm going to set it right at 55. Let's do 58 in the middle. Okay. So now we got this, got the torque wrench, and then we'll go back and do the same thing. I'll hold it. I got Loctite on them, so that's good. Grab this up here. Torque, torque. Now just because I'm torquing this, I'm going to go the opposite direction. Down here. It's not very hard on the pressure. You don't want to check these to make sure they don't loosen up. All right, and that, my friends, is installed. I'm gonna grab my little cloth here just because I got fingerprints all over it. Wipe it all down. All right. And that's it. Vance Hines High Intake Patriotic Special Edition Air Cleaner and Filter installed on a 2022 Heritage 114. Hope this video helped. I'm going to do the same thing on my Road Glide, get rid of that scoop because it hits my knees, but all in all, great product, went in nice, looks absolutely excellent on there, and fits the whole mode I have going on the bike. So like, subscribe, do all that junk. Hope you enjoy it, and post any questions you have. Thanks a lot. See you next time.